The case is in some of the items that are here to provide for provided for. And I just want to point out a few, Honorable Speaker, so that even, Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from these people making noise behind me. I can hardly hear myself. Yes, I am of the view, anybody from either side of the House. I wish I had those powers to send anyone out. But, honorable members, I was very serious when I said we need to uphold the decorum of the House. Because Honorable Karoli Omondi will stand in his place, make his point. If there is something that he says I don't agree with, I will correct the situation. Like I will be correcting what he's saying about Talanta Stadium. Honorable Speaker, I was saying some of that expenditure, and I'm happy you have guided on NIS, because NIS, our State Department for Internal Security, are getting an additional 1.5 billion and 3.5 billion to NIS for security operations. And Honorable Speaker, those of us who come from areas that have suffered insecurity, and those members from Marsabit will tell you the problems that they have had in the recent past. You cannot wait for the next financial year to be able to appropriate for security operations and security matters. Because if anything were to happen and the security agencies say they could not do it because they didn't have resources, Honorable Speaker, the discussion will be different from what we are saying here. Honorable Speaker, what are we providing for? And our own members, ordinarily I would never have gone into these details. But because there are those of us who want to make politics out of this, it is good to point it out. And I will start with what affects you as members of Parliament. In this supplementary budget, if Honorable Yegon can listen, and the Honorable Benjamin Langat, if only they can listen, proceed. Honorable Benjamin Langat and Yegon, you will know that in this budget, your own medical as members of Parliament, you have an additional 110 million. Your own medical. I do not need to name names and what some of us, our colleagues, have had to go through in the recent past, and the support they have gotten from this institution. It may happen to any one of you before the end of this financial year or the next financial year. In this, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Rahim Dawood, standing where he's standing, he will interject the Honorable Karoli Omondi because he wants to be seen on TV on KBC. For him to be seen on KBC, Parliament has to pay KBC. We have provided an additional 200 billion shillings for you to continue getting the live broadcasts so that you may be seen on TV, as many of you want to be seen on TV. Honorable members, many of you frequent the office of the clerk, the office of the speaker, the office of the leader of minority, leader of majority. Help me to access this or that trip. Those trips, you use Kenya Airways. In this budget, you have an additional 150 million shillings, 180 million shillings for pending bills to Kenya Airways, owed by Parliament. In this budget, you have 100 million shillings for those of us, Honorable Speaker, who have offices at KICC, and you access your office without being fitted by anybody, even when Parliament has not paid your rent. We have provided for 100 million shillings to pay for your rent. Honorable Speaker, the people we represent, our children are going to sit for their grade 9 exams. Those who will be sitting for KCSE, the second last class, are sitting for their last exams this year. The second last class. We have provided money to NEC, 1.5 billion shillings, to do what? We have not paid our invigilators, we have not paid our examiners, we have not paid the police officers who escort those exams to ensure, and security people who ensure that those exams do not leak, to have a credible examination process. And yet, Honorable Speaker, we expect that this year we'll sit for exams, credible exams, if we have not paid our examiners and invigilators and security teams that we have not paid in the last year. Honorable Speaker, we all pontificate whenever we speak, all of us, whether here, whether in funerals, whether in political rallies, on the need to address the question of joblessness and lack of employment for millions of our youth who are ravaging out there in poverty. The greatest responsibility we have as leaders is to make sure that, since we pride ourselves in the National Assembly as a budget-making house, the people with the power of the purse, we use that power to ensure that we are providing resources that will create at least, even if it is one job of a Kenyan who has no job, it is good enough. Even one job. The Nyota program, Honorable Speaker, is supporting not just the growth of entrepreneurship in our country, but creating jobs in a manner many of us who are well endowed may not understand. That 20,000 shillings, 22, 25, 30,000 shillings can change the life and livelihood of an entire family, leave alone an individual. We have provided 5.7 billion shillings for the Nyota program in this. That is the money you see that is split between the State Department for MSMEs and the Youth Department. Honorable Speaker, sports stadia. I don't even want to dwell on the politics that the Honorable Karoli Omondi wanted to bring, including saying the Nairobi University had their own figures, as if the Nairobi University is a procurement authority. Honorable Speaker, Talanta Stadium, for those of you who fly, if you listen to your captains, they have been referring to the monastery in their geographical coordinates as you come to land in Nairobi. Today, I hear them referring, especially as you approach Wilson, because one of the runways is closed, the one that faces where the monastery is, they are now referring to the new landmark in the city and in the country and in East Africa and Africa as a continent, Talanta Raila Odinga International Stadium. This Raila Odinga Stadium that the Honorable Karoli Omondi does not want to hear anything to do with, because it is named after Raila Odinga, a great man, a great statesman. This Talanta Stadium, under appropriations in aid, Honorable Speaker, I know some may not conceptualize what appropriations in aid is. Under appropriations in aid from the sports fund, Honorable Speaker, this supplementary budget, as I said yesterday, also realigns areas where people may not be able, or a State Department may not be able to absorb everything. And if you look at it, there is a reduction of about 700 million to align the budget with actual institutional requirements. 1.8 billion is coming from the contingency fund. Because when we budget, even the budget that we just did for the next financial year, Honorable Samatandi will tell you, we provided for money in the contingency fund. What does this money do? If there is any budget thing that you did not provide for in the budget, you utilize that contingency fund to fund. Now we are taking 1.8 billion because we are coming to the close of the year. That money has not been spent, and you take it to more important things where you can spend this money. For instance, you want to watch FIFA World Cup. Broadcasting rights for KBC has 150 million shillings from this. Honorable Speaker, the people of Kwale and the entire coast region and parts of the lower eastern will give you horror stories. I do not want to say horror, like someone said here, that Kenyans watching horror. You know, Honorable Naomi Wako is saying it depends on where you come from. And the person who said Kenyans are watching in horror comes from Ranga, and I come from Kiambu, and we all speak the same language. Honorable Speaker, Mwache Dam development has 2.3 billion shillings. I was speaking about the horror stories that the people of the coast and parts of Lower Eastern can tell you. How mothers woke up as early as 4 a.m. in search of water. How communities spend 3/4 of their day looking for water. When this Mwache Dam is finally completed, you will see the transformation that this will deliver to the people, not just of the coast, but our nation, because the coast region is also a very important tourist destination. Honorable Speaker, I decided to mention those things in detail, so that even as we politic, because we have a right also to politic, but let us also use this house to inform Kenyans the truth of what we are doing. And that is why I was at pain when I see a member shouting at another, just because you don't agree with what they are saying, and you don't dwell on the actual business of what the people of Kenya pay you to do. Because this is what we are paid to do. Honorable Speaker, I've heard some tell others, oh, you have not provided for this and that road. This is a second supplementary budget with, today is the 18th or 17th, I don't know. Today is the 18th. The end of the financial year is in another 12 days. So you must be certain, if you are putting money in development, it is money that you get exchequer releases. And if you are aware, probably they have started strangling the system now to slow down on exchequer releases from the National Treasury. Therefore, those of you who want to belittle, because I had a member belittling the member for Nandi Hills, I am aware and I know the people of Nandi Hills have roads, and I'm sure the member for Nandi Hills can name those roads. They have roads provided for in the budget because this member for Nandi Hills is a very diligent member of parliament who takes time to follow on development projects in his constituency. And I would dare the member for Kajiado North, who was fighting the member for Nandi Hills, tell the people of Kajiado North a single road that you have followed up to provide for the people of Kajiado North.
Honorable Majority Leader, you understand the rules very well. You cannot discuss a fellow member conduct both inside and outside the House without a substantive motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand guided, and as always, I cannot argue with the chair. Because you know, the only person with powers to throw me out of the House is you. And I abide by what you are saying, Honorable Speaker, because I want us to allow each other to debate. So that, Honorable Speaker, when the member for Kajiado North spites the member for Nandi Hills, the member for Nandi Hills gets an opportunity to defend it. But because he's a member, he's my member, and I know line by line what is in the budget. I know Nandi Hills has adequate roads because of the diligence and follow-up by the member for Nandi Hills. But I know the people of Kajiado North are still crying, and crying very hard. The people of Kajiado North are my immediate neighbors. I have roads that I am pushing on behalf of the people of Kajiado North. And some I have made sure those roads are in the budget because I follow on their behalf.
A member is on a point of order, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. But I wish to ask you, is a majority leader in order to keep referring to members of parliament, even to keep referring to people outside this parliament? Every time you have a debate, he has to delay debates by naming individuals who are not on this parliament and other members of parliament, trying to degrade people with his remarks.
Honorable member.
Trying to demean people.
Order, honorable member. I've heard you. Honorable member, I am very keenly listening to him. The moment he crosses the boundary and discusses the conduct of the MP for Narok North, even to say that he's not doing good enough for his people to get roads, I'll order him out of order. Order. We are in a session. Order. Muthui.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Since my time is about to get over, I have no business replying to the member for Starehe. I mentioned Kajiado North because they are my immediate neighbors, and they are roads that I am working very hard for them, for the people of Kajiado North to get access to roads, because the people of Kajiado North deserve development like any other part of Kenya. And I have worked very hard, and I will make sure the roads that were connecting the Gong bypass that I made sure was in this budget, because almost.
Give him an additional 3 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying, because...
Conclude.
As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, I was saying, the Gong bypass road, for instance, and the roads, the Matasia loops, because almost 40% of the people who live in Kajiado North migrated from my village in Kekambura. They call me every day. And I, as a national leader, I have to support them. And I have supported them, and I've made sure in the next budget, the next financial year's budget, the Gong bypass road will be done, and it is there. Just like the member, I hope the member for Nandi Hills will get an opportunity to tell the people of Nandi Hills the kind of work he has put in, because I've been to Nandi Hills. I know the roads he has seen in the office to help him with. But,
Honorable Speaker, I think is the majority leader in order to make such reckless statements that I ensured the money was in the budget, that I will make sure that thing is in the budget next year. I mean, we have a budget framework. We have a process of making budgets in this country. Are you revealing to the country that those processes don't matter? It is what your whims are when you want to attend to your relatives that matters. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, that was unnecessary interjection that I have no time for. Because we all know, and we live in this country, we know how we do the budgets. You know, nothing will land on your table, nothing will land on the table if you are not a diligent member of parliament to be able to follow it up. You must make sure that you interact with the budget committee. You must make sure you interact with the state departments. That is why I am saying, Honorable Speaker, for us to be debating development expenditure 2 weeks to the end of the financial year, we only want to throw points at the member for Nandi Hills, who is I must repeat, is a very diligent member. Very diligent. More diligent by another one who is very fond of pointing fingers at him. Whereas I am very busy working for the people of Kenya. And I will continue to ensure even the people of Suba South get roads, they get access to electricity, because they are Kenyans and they deserve. And the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, as much as it hurts one of us, he is an expert par excellence, given to us by ODM. And the expert from Suba South, the Honorable John Buddy, as much as it is painful to one of us here, is doing a great job in ensuring that development is there across the country and there is inclusivity. Finally, Honorable Speaker, on State House budget. On State House budget, because that's the other thing I've had people try to make.
Order. Give him half a minute and conclude.
Half a minute to conclude and say this, Honorable Speaker. State House is not State House Nairobi alone. We are all aware we have done a number of state lodges across the country, including the people for Wajir in the northern Kenya. People who felt excluded from Kenya. That people are saying, even Homa Bay, there is a state lodge. Therefore, recurrent expenditure in State House cannot be what it was last year. We just hosted the Africa France Summit, Honorable Speaker. You know that cost money in recurrent expenditure, the President hosting all those people, and we have to provide for those expenses. The same for the office of the Deputy President. So therefore, even as we seek to follow those who are posting on social media, because I've seen one former member of Parliament for Madeira posting on social media, we must make
you wish to be informed by Honorable Kaluma?
Honorable Kaluma is very intelligent to inform me. He should inform me.
The majority leader, that unlike our former presidents, now you go to State House and you don't take Fanta and biscuits. You are welcomed as a Kenyan, and we have a president who has opened State House to everybody, not just some top people. Anybody can go to State House and sit with their leader, and so we have to budget for it.
Honorable Majority Leader,
Honorable Speaker, I was concluding. Let me thank Honorable Kaluma for that information, and to also tell the House and this country that unlike some of our former presidents who spent a lot of time in State House, our president is very mobile, and therefore that mobility, that making every Kenyan feel part and parcel of our country in creating inclusivity and togetherness and the unity of our nation, building that unity. The president travels across the country. This is a president who this morning left France, Paris, landed in Mombasa. He is now presiding over the Ocean Conference with hundreds of thousands of delegates from around the world to grow our blue economy that is transforming not just the coast region, the Nyanza region, Lake Turkana and other blue economy areas. Therefore, we cannot compare President William Ruto, who is a teetotaler, with, State House has also been used. There used to be a bar there. It has since been closed. This man is not going to bars. Before that, there are very many active bars in State House. They are all closed. They are now building a church in State House. And that church is being built by money from the president himself. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Otende Amolo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this supplementary appropriation number 2 bill of 2026. But with a caution, Mr. Speaker, and this is from the perspective of the Public Accounts Committee. I see my colleagues, Honorable Nabi is here, Dr. Undo is here, Honorable Koechi is there, Honorable Namwari is there. Two things, Mr. Speaker. First is the question of actual expenditure. Mr. Speaker, I note that we have 12 days to the end of the financial year. I am hoping that as Honorable Atandi asks us to support this bill, and we do, that the committee will appropriately caution all these agencies that they had better be sure they'll spend this money before the end of the financial year. Because part of what we deal with routinely is coming to the end of the financial year, and you find agencies that have not spent even up to 40% of what they were allocated. And my caution, therefore, Mr. Speaker, is that if any of these agencies should end up with having an audit query for not having spent, then the Budget and Appropriations Committee should appropriately penalize them by reducing their budget in the next cycle. My second caution, Mr. Speaker, is on confidential expenditure. Mr. Speaker, I note that half of this supplementary budget, that's about 6 billion, goes to 3 agencies that usually have confidential expenditure. That is State House, 1 billion, Internal Security, 1.5 billion, and National Intelligence, 3.5 billion, about 50%. Mr. Speaker, part of what we have routinely faced are some of these agencies taking virtually every other expenditure and putting it under confidential expenditure. And the reason is, they say Treasury has not updated or revised the regulations to indicate what is confidential expenditure and what is not confidential expenditure. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge the Finance and National Planning Committee, in conjunction with the Budget Committee.
Order, Honorable Lieutenant. Honorable Kaluma is on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I never interrupt Honorable Amolo, but there is constant mention of confidential vote through the presentations, and it is a very sensitive issue. If I remember, the idea of confidential votes was abolished last year. Could Honorable Amolo mention to us this confidential vote that is referring to, and which the members are referring to, so that we can make a decision with knowledge around it? Because so far as I'm aware, there is no confidential voting.
Mr. Speaker, if that was a point of order, then I do not know under which standing order it arises, because that is a contribution. No. Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you. Order. I want to tell you.
Order.
I want to respond, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Honorable Otende Amolo, you are a senior member here. Standing order number 91 says that a member shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts which the member alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such facts instantly. So what you should have asked for is for you to substantiate what are these confidential votes.
Mr. Speaker, this is as a matter of law, not as a matter of fact, and I will explain. I started by mentioning some of my colleagues with whom we serve in the Public Accounts Committee, and they're here. Mr. Speaker, the 3 agencies have indicated whenever we ask for their audit queries, including yesterday, they indicate that these fall under the confidential vote, which cannot be responded to because Treasury has not developed guidelines. The only point I wanted to make is this, and it's a very simple point. We do not need to disagree on this. That the Finance and Planning Committee, in conjunction with the Budget Committee, should urge Treasury to now develop these guidelines to separate what is confidential from what is not confidential. Because to the best of my knowledge and to the best of our committee knowledge, no such distinction has been abolished.
Honorable Tongoe is on a point of order.
That's what I want to. Honorable Speaker, I want to be very factual, and I respect our senior counsel there. If you'll be keen to look into those specifications, there is nothing like confidential. It is either in the Ministry of Interior, it is indicated security operation, which is totally opposite and different from security operation, confidential. In the State House as well, yes, in the State House as well, it is just other operating expenses. It's nothing like confidential. So let's not mislead the House. Let's not misinform the country. Those are not confidential, and should be clear as that.
There is no confidential point.
You can only rise on a point of order if there's an active member on the floor. So wait until Honorable Otienda Amolo resumes his debate, and then you can rise on a point. Proceed, Honorable Otienda Amolo.
Mr. Speaker, I accept to be informed by Honorable Dr.
Point
Undo.
of information?
Yes.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, we are responsible members of Parliament. We are leaders in this country, and we swore to uphold the Constitution of Kenya. Those of us who sit in Public Accounts Committee, and I have sat there since 2020, Honorable Speaker, every year there are several agencies that have a confidential vote that is never subject to being unpacked. And that's what Honorable Otienda Amolo is alluding for. I sit in the Public Accounts Committee. I can even bring you the public accounts, the report of the Director General that was even discussed as late as yesterday to this House for purpose of substantiating the issue that there's a confidential vote in our books of accounts. Yeah.
Honorable, let him rise first. Proceed, Otienda Amolo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my point is a very simple one, and I do not know why
Majority Leader, you are on a point of
attracts
order.
controversy.
What's your point of order, Honorable Majority Leader?
Honorable Speaker, listening to what Honorable Undo, I don't know if there is a member of the Public Accounts Committee, but I know the senior counsel is a member or was a member of the Public Accounts Committee, if not the chair some time back. But Honorable Speaker, I think we need to make it clear what the Honorable Ngogoi said, what the Honorable Kaluma has said. Before 2024, there used to be a confidential vote. After 2024, that confidential vote was abolished, and we must not confuse what is classified expenditure, like you had rightly guided. There's what is usually classified expenditure, military, NIS, part of what Honorable Ngogoi is speaking about, security operations, which you will not discuss in an open forum. But confidential, Honorable Speaker, I would want the Honorable Undo, because he alleges that it is something they are discussing in the Public Accounts Committee. You can debate something in a committee, but until and unless it is in a formal report before this House, we cannot be discussing it, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, I would want to advise that if there is anything that they want to address in the Public Accounts Committee, they put it in their report. It comes before the House. If there are issues the Auditor General has raised, and the senior counsel knows that, they will bring the report here and they will debate it. But let us not use this forum again to send the wrong message out there to people, as I can see attempts to.
Let him rise.
Mr. Speaker, if I may just wind up my contribution. Mr. Speaker, whether you want to call it classified, whether you want to call it confidential, whether you want to call it other vote, my point is a very simple one. That the agencies constantly come and say we cannot respond to this because they still use the word confidential. They may use the word classified. But the point is, Treasury has not distinguished, has not generated the regulations to indicate these ones can be classified or these ones cannot. And therefore, most of these agencies come and say we cannot respond to almost everything because it falls in that category. All I'm saying is that it behoves us as a house to work with Treasury to create that distinction. Lastly, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Attend Amolo. I will repeat that again. And I've had the opportunity in the 10th Parliament, in the 7th Parliament. You see, there is intelligence gathering, there's counterintelligence, there's terrorism, there's counterterrorism. You expect those institutions are going to tell you we use these things to go and get espionage, counter-espionage. Those things are not for public, There is the military order, military hardware and ordinances. There is the officers who are there. Nobody knows the number of our officers in the armed forces. It's supposed to be a classified information order. Classified information. Honorable members, let us not confuse statecraft. Order. Order. Muthui. I think without proper arrangements being done by security cleared committee, this parliament, open parliament, cannot discuss our security institutions in any way. Not the military. Nobody is supposed to know how many helicopters we have, how many planes we have, how many of these things. And these are information, the expenditure is for ordinances. So I want you to know that when you get to that, please, it's a no-go area. But anybody else, order, any other area, yes, but not the security machinery, not the intelligence, not the armed forces of this country. On who? On me. You see, that's why I tell you, you're a first-timer. You rise on a point of order when a member is contributing and is not. Order. I am not debating. I am guiding the House. No, I'm guiding the House. Proceed. Proceed, Amolo. We don't want this basic activism to go into national security. National security is not an easy thing to mess around with. Proceed.
Can I have the mic?
Give the mic to Honorable Otende Amolo.
What?
Use the next one, Otende Amolo.
Which one? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, it is funny that the very point you make is all I'm making, yes, and yet you make it by way of correcting me.
No.
The point I'm making is simple.
No, I'm informing the House, not correcting you. Yes.
That the fact that there are certain things that cannot be disclosed to the public,
yes,
should not be an excuse to cover even those which should be audited. And what should happen is that Treasury should develop very clear guidelines to say these ones cannot be the subject of public debate.
Okay.
But these ones ought to be the subject of public debate. You cannot take, say, the entire amount allocated to one agency because it's a security agency and say it cannot be audited. That's all I'm saying. And you're actually agreeing with me, Mr. Speaker, and we spent so much time on this for no reason. I want to close, as I say, the following. Two matters, Mr. Speaker. One, I agree with the majority leader.
What's your point of order, Honorable Kaluma? What's your point of order, Honorable Kaluma? Order, Honorable Senate. When somebody stands on a point of order, I will give you. Yeah, but when he's contributing, stand on a point of order. Okay, I'll get to them. You'll have it. What is out of order, Honorable Kaluma? Can you give the mic to Honorable Kaluma? Go to any nearer one, that's centuries. Come to the front. Can you give the mic to Honorable Kaluma, for God's sake?
Kaluma, there's a mic here.
They have a point of order, so I'm waiting.
Sergeant at arms. Sergeant.
Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Otiende Amolo raises the good point that if there are confidential votes, then we should have a regulation around them. And we don't contest that point. The point of order I raised, Honorable Speaker, is that we are debating supplementary appropriations number 2 bill of 2026.
Mine is not working.
And in that supplementary appropriation bill we are dealing with, there is no provision for confidential vote. And my worry is that in as much as Honorable Amolo's explanation is good, if we let it go that way, the presumption by people watching us outside there will be that there are confidential provisions here which are not there. So could we agree that for purposes of relevance, there is no confidential vote provision here?
Clearly, what Honorable Amolo is saying, whether it's classified or not classified, or it's confidential or classified, we need to have certain guidelines from the Treasury, which is perfectly in order. Proceed. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that intervention. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming to my last point.
Wamboka is also on a point of order. What's your point of order? Wamboka.
Mr. Speaker, I wonder why are people panicking? Honorable Otiende Amolo is saying, as late as yesterday,
order,
meeting.
Order. That's why I keep wondering why you people don't read your own standing orders and understand the basic rules of debate in the House. You rise on a point of order. Order. You rise on a point of order. Did he accept your information? So wait until he accepts your information. It's not for me to grant that. Proceed, Honorable Amolo.
Mr. Speaker, you realize I had barely taken 2 minutes.
I'll give you an additional 1 minute. So do you wish to be informed by Wamboka?
Yes. So, okay. Mr. Speaker, as I come to my third point on a general point, first I agree with the Honorable Majority Leader that we need decorum in this House. Yes. That we can disagree, but reasonably. But that includes not raising unnecessary points of order.
Yes.
By way of contribution, which you can wait and make during your own time. That also includes, unfortunately, Majority Leader, not decampaigning your own colleagues by saying what they've not done for their constituencies. Mr. Speaker, may I also say, and I sympathize with you, because in this House we have two sides of the aisle. But these aisles are very difficult because you have the minority on the majority side. Then you have the minority on the minority side. And so people keep crisscrossing and you really can't quite tell. But still, I think on the ultimate, Mr. Speaker, it is the balance that will achieve the decorum in this House. As I finish, and I agree again with the majority leader.
Give him give him 20 seconds.
I agree that the Raila Amolo Odinga Stadium is an icon. But for the avoidance of doubt, Raila Amolo Odinga name cannot have another name beside it. It is not Talanta Raila Amolo Odinga. It is Raila Amolo Odinga Stadium. Thank you.
Honorable members, order. The opportunity now belongs to the newly elected member of parliament for Emurua Dikir. The rules are very clear. He is not to be interrupted at all. Yes. He's making his maiden speech.
Yes.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you for granting me this opportunity to make my maiden speech in this honorable house. I rise today with profound humility and deep gratitude as the duly elected member of parliament for Emurua Digiri constituency following the by-election held on 14th May 2026 under the United Democratic Alliance Party. First and foremost, I thank the Almighty God for His grace. I also thank the people of Emurua Digiri for the confidence and trust they bestowed upon me.
Proceed.
Yeah. As some might be aware, this was my fourth attempt seeking the mandate to serve my people. And standing here today is a testimony that determination, patience, and faith can indeed reward. I remain deeply humbled by the overwhelming support from all corners of our constituency, from Mogondo to Alalmasani, Ilkerin to Kapsasian, and every village in between. I equally thank the UDA party leadership, our party leader, His Excellency President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, my family, friends, campaign team, council of elders, religious leaders, and every supporter who stood with me in votes, prayer, and encouragement during this historic journey. And even to those who did not vote for me, I'll be a leader to all. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I stand here today, I do so in shadow of immense sorrow following the tragic loss of our beloved leader, the late Honorable Johanna Ngeno, who lost his life in the unfortunate helicopter crash on 28 February 2026.
Honorable member, I am made to understand that you did have an opportunity yesterday to address the House, although you're doing it on the issue of the late Conchela. But that was your maiden moment. Nonetheless, the chair will give you an opportunity, but you must intersperse it with contribution on the order paper today. Proceed.
Okay. Well guided. We lost a fearless leader, a patriot, and a servant of the people who dedicated his life to fighting for the dignity and progress of our constituency. May his soul continue resting in peace. Mr. Speaker, sir, I do not come here to replace Honorable Johanna Ngeno, for no one can replace him. Rather, I come to continue the journey we began together as comrades in the year 2007, when the quest to carve out Emurua Digiri from Kilgoris constituency began. By 2013, we had already succeeded to have our own constituency as a people. And so I honor this legacy through service, humility, and commitment to the people he loved dearly. I pledge to carry forward his dream and for a better Emurua Digiri, and to ensure that his vision does not die with him. Many honorable members who attended the burial of our departed leader had an opportunity to interact with the people of Emurua Digiri and witness both the progress made and the opportunities that still exist for further development within our constituency. Indeed, we appreciate the strides that have been made over the years in the sectors of road infrastructure, education, rural electrification, agriculture, and establishment of important public institutions across our constituency. However, as the youngest and growing constituency, there remains a need for continued investment to expand road network, a matter on which I am already engaging relevant authorities. Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a need to improve access to clean and reliable water, enhance electricity connectivity to the last mile, strengthen agricultural support programs for our farmers. Mr. Speaker, I dream of schools where every child can learn in dignity and compete equally with children from other parts of Kenya. On healthcare, I am committed to working closely with the county government of Narok and relevant national agencies to ensure our health facilities, including Emurua Digiri Level 4 Hospital, are well equipped, adequately staffed, and fully operational to serve our people effectively. Mr. Speaker, sir, the greatest strength of Muthui Digiri is its people. They are resilient, industrious, and hardworking citizens whose potential, if well supported, can greatly contribute to both our local and national economy. I look forward to working with various stakeholders to open more economic and employment opportunities for our youth across the 4 wards. Mr. Speaker, while acknowledging my legislative roles as per Constitution, particularly Articles 94 and 95, I undertake to exercise firm oversight over NGCDF to ensure that every cent allocated to Muthui Digiri serves the intended purpose. I also commit myself to ensuring fairness, transparency, and equity in allocation of bursaries so that no deserving child misses education because of poverty, discrimination. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to acknowledge the resilience, strength, determination of the people of Muthui Digiri. For years, our people have endured hardship, marginalization, and neglect, yet they have never lost hope. Today, they look to this House with renewed optimism, and their voices shall finally be heard and their challenges addressed. I promise the people of Muthui Digiri that I shall serve them faithfully, protect their interests fearlessly, and I commit to being unifying factor in our bid to transform our constituency into a beacon of progress and opportunity. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to thank the following members of Parliament who came to support me way back in 2017, led by Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, Honorable Tongoyo, Honorable Kibagendi, Honorable Ngogoyo, Honorable Parejo, Honorable Tongei Rebecca, among many others. Although I found Honorable Kibagendi and Ngogoyo not supporting the government, I would wish them to close the floor to support the government of the day. May God bless Muthui Digiri and may God bless Kenya. Thank you so much.
What's your point of order, Honorable Mizigi? What's your point? Give her the mic. Give the Honorable Member for Taita Taveta, Haika Mizigi, the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I stand at the standing orders 95. Mr. Speaker, since we've had enough time adequately to contribute to the motion, Mr. Speaker, I will request that the mover to be called to reply, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I know. Order. Honorable members, let's have order. Take the nearest seat, honorable member. Order. MP standing there. Who is there? My honorable member, take a seat. Take a seat. When the chair, order. Honorable Senate. Order. Honorable members, I now put the question that the mover be called upon to reply. As many as that appearance say aye. Aye. As many as the contrary say nay. No. The ayes have it. The ayes have it.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Before
you reply, I think there's one thing I wish to draw the attention of the House to, because it's important. Honorable members, please do read your standing orders. Do read your standing orders. 4 years into the House now, and I get the feeling that most of you have not read your standing orders. If you are sent out of the House and you fail or you refuse or you become a hero, the Speaker has no option but to call on the Sergeant at Arms to remove you. If you are removed by the Sergeant at Arms, action to be taken on refusal to withdraw. Standing order number 111. If any member shall refuse to withdraw when required to do so, by or under these standing orders, the Speaker or the chairperson of the committee, as the case may be, having called the attention of the House or committee to the fact that recourse to force is necessary in order to compel such member to withdraw, shall order such member to be removed, and such member shall thereupon, without question, be suspended from the House or from the service of the House for a minimum of 21 days and a maximum of 90 days. and shall during that such suspension forfeit the right of access to the President of the Parliament, and the Sergeant at Arms shall take necessary action to enforce the order. In addition to it, the member loses his... You know what I'm talking about. So when you want to become a hero, you better know the consequences. The consequences can be very severe. I've never had an opportunity to do that, and I will never want to do it. But I want us to have a lot of decorum and a lot of dignity here. And always there will be a balance. If you feel that you haven't been hard enough, the Speaker will always make sure there's a balance, proper balance. And all sides are hard properly. But this House has got to be a house of dignity. Proceed and reply.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank members. This is the very first time, Honorable Speaker, that we are discussing the budget bills with the House almost half full. In the past, we have always been a handful of us when we are discussing this finance and budget matters. So I want to thank members again. We have had a robust debate on this matter. But Honorable Speaker, there's something that I want to tell members. Budget committee transacts businesses from departmental committees. And every time we are executing budgets, we meet chairmen of committees where all of you sit. And they come to us with different resource requirements for each and every department and ministries. I wish to confirm that I have never seen, or we have never executed a budget where a ministry has been given their full resource requirements. We are always giving them a handful, hoping that in the supplementary estimates, we'll have a chance to give them more resources. Honorable Speaker, for example, this Parliament, the resource requirement for Parliament is about 65 billion. We are only able to give them about under 50 billion. The resource requirement, for example, Honorable Speaker, for the police requires about 220 billion. We have a gap of about 65 billion to police. Honorable Speaker, judiciary, the resource requirement for judiciary is about 40 billion. We have been able to allocate them just under 30 billion. Honorable Speaker, the resource requirement for State House is about 25 billion. As at today, when we are passing this supplementary too, State House has a gap of about 8 billion, which we are unable to fund them. So, Honorable Speaker, this debate about State House being overfunded needs to come to an end. And members, because you sit in these committees, you need to have a better understanding of the budget other than the public, so that when you come to the floor of the House and you start accusing us of giving more resources to State House, you need to have facts. For example, Honorable Speaker, the NIS has a funding gap of 30 billion that we are unable to resource for them. So we must agree that this House will never appropriate sufficient resources for each and every ministry, each and every department, and therefore we need to stop this politicization of budget. There is no politics in this budget. The allocations are proper. They are required to run those specific ministries, and therefore what we are doing as budget committee is not to appropriate resources for particular people. Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I would like to reply and ask I would like to reply. Thank you.
Order. Honorable members, I now put the question that the supplementary appropriation number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026 be now read a second time. No, be now read a second time. As men of the appearance say aye. Aye. As men of the contrary appearance say nay. Aye. The ayes have it. Honorable members, we have a supplement. Oh, proceed first.
A bill for an act of parliament to authorize the issue of certain sums of money out of the consolidated fund and the application towards the service of the year ending on the 30th June 2026 and to appropriate those sums for certain public services and purposes.
Honorable members, we have a supplementary order paper. And now we are going to order number 9, Roman 1. Order number 9, Roman 2 is deferred to an appropriate date, time in the future. Date and time in the future. And now we're going into committee.
Order number 9, Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable members, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, members, this is a short bill, and I would like order. I would like us to have attention of the House, and then we proceed quickly. All members, you are now in the committee of the whole House, considering the supplementary appropriation number 2, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026.
First schedule.
All members, I propose the question that the first schedule be the schedule of the bill. Is there an amendment? Chairperson, schedule. The first schedule.
I would like to move that clause 2 of the bill.
Order. We're on the first schedule.
No, there's no amendment.
The amendment?
There's no amendment.
No, just a minute, please. The Honorable Chair approach the table.
Do you have an extra copy?
We have a supplementary order paper, so Chairperson, please move the amendment to the first schedule.
The order paper.
Order.
The supplementary one. Chair, we don't have copy of the supplementary.
Go ahead.
I would like to move that the first schedule to the bill be deleted and replaced with the following new schedule, which is in the order paper. Thank you.
All members, I propose the question that the first schedule of the bill be amended as proposed by the Chair, Budget Appropriation Committee. I now put the question to all members that the first schedule of the bill be amended as proposed by the Chairperson of the BSC Committee. Will as another opinion say aye? Will as another opinion say nay? Ayes have it. I now put the question to members that the first schedule as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of that opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Second schedule.
Members, I propose the question that the second schedule be the second schedule of the bill. Honorable Chair.
I would like to move that the second schedule to the bill be amended and replaced with the following new schedule, which is here in the bill, in the order paper.
All members, I propose the question, therefore, that the second schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair of the BSC. I put the question that the second schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair of the Budget Appropriation Committee. Will as another opinion say aye? Will as another opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the second schedule as amended be part of the bill. Will as another opinion say aye? Will as another opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clause 5.
All members, I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Honorable Chair.
I would like to move that clause 5 of the bill be amended by inserting the expression R1152 immediately after the expression R1071.
All members, I propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Chairperson of the Budget Appropriation Committee. I now put the question, members, that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Chairperson of the BSC Committee. Will as another opinion say aye? Will as another opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Members, I now put the question, therefore, that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will as another opinion say aye? Will as another opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clauses 3 and 4.
All members, I propose a question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I now put the question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill. Will as another opinion say aye? Will as another opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clause 2.
All members, I propose a question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Honorable Chair.
I move that clause 2 of the bill be amended by deleting the words 13,885,023,911 appearing after the words the sum of and substituting therefore the words 14,801,023,911. Thank you.
All members, I propose a question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee. I put the question, members, that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the BSc committee. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Members, I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Title.
Members, I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clause 1.
Members, I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There being an amendment, I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Reporting. Mover to move for reporting.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the supplementary appropriation number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Oh, members, I had put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the supplementary appropriations bill number 2, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Will as many of the opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Members on the aisle. You're standing for reporting, members.
But you should call the speaker. Mr. Speaker!
Chairperson, to report to the House.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the supplementary appropriations number 2, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026, and approved the same with amendments.
The mover to move agreement with the report.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request the Honorable the Vice Chairman of Budget and Appropriations Committee to second the motion for agreement with the report on the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Pukose.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Yeah, honorable members, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Is it the mood of the House that I put the question? The Honorable George Sunkuya.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to support the report that I raised to support the supplementary appropriation bill. Supplementary budget are an important part of the managing a public finance. It is not always possible, Mr. Speaker, to predict even government need when announced budget is prepared. The Honorable Speaker, the financial year progress, new priorities and urgent need may arise. It is therefore the responsibility of the House to consider and approve the necessary adjustment that government services continue without interruption. Additional, a finance proposed that in the bill will support the government program ongoing development project. I stand to support.
The Honorable, the MP for Nandi Hills, Honorable Kitur.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, again to make this contribution on on the supplementary appropriation number 2. And Honorable Speaker, I want to say I support indeed this bill, particularly that it's going to impact on a number of programs, one of which is critical that affects also my own constituents. For instance, Honorable Speaker, the issue of the sports academies, that the funds that would go towards the sports academies, that I have a couple of them in my own constituency, Honorable Speaker. Also, Honorable Speaker, towards the debate, one of my colleagues did mention, that is Honorable Ngogoyo, and he was speaking about some that we may not be aware of some of the programs that we are doing and what this bill is going to do. And I wanted to notify Honorable Ngogoyo because I also happen to have seen what is happening in Kajiado North. I wanted to notify you, Honorable Ngogoyo, that I have several roles, several programs that I've been able in this House and the committees in this House to be able to articulate for the people of Nandi Hills. And when you took the initiative earlier, Honorable Ngogoyo, to mention that in the budget that has just gone, and even as we're talking about part of what is happening in the appropriation bill, I want to notify you that there is several programs, like the roads in my constituency, like the one from Savannah to Nandi Hills, like the road from Siwa all the way to Nandi Hills, like the road from Imaki to Nandi Hills. Like, you know, I have several programs that if I challenge you today to mention, what have you been able to push when you are a member here, I'm sure you would be very keen to have been able to speak mainly about what happens to the Wamunyoro teams and stuff like that. But that not be belabored, Honorable Speaker. I want to also support this bill, noting the issue of the Nyota funds that is going to impact greatly the young people of our country. And Honorable Speaker, as we support this bill, many young people are going to benefit. Finally, Honorable Speaker, on the aspects of education, when you look at the funds that is going to go towards the invigilation, the programs around, where was that? Now, Honorable Speaker, let me mention this then before I sit down. The issue of the ICT committee, Honorable Speaker, and one of the things that had come to our committee was the issue of the 150 million shillings that is meant to support the KBC to be able to broadcast the FIFA World Cup games. This is very critical because with the coming of this new government, Honorable Speaker, it has been able to promote incredibly the talent of our country. And therefore, this is going now to allow all Kenyans to be able to have the opportunity, because KBC is going to have the rights to be able to be seen across the country. So I support indeed this bill with everything in me. Thank you.
Honorable Adan Kainan, because of rank, we'll have the last comment at this stage.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to make just 2 comments on this. Mr. Speaker, I want to, this House has a very important title called the August House. And I followed the debate yesterday and this morning. There's one thing that came to my mind, the history of our democracy. I do not want to delve very much on this, but it's my plea to all colleagues here. We are one group. You can do whatever you want to do, but outside there, we are members of the 13th Parliament. As we continue with this debate, the budget-making process is a constitutional process. 2, it's also a political process. And 3, and more fundamentally, it's a party-driven process. And that's why every party during the campaign period, they have a manifesto. That manifesto must be translated into a workable, pragmatic, executive-driven economic agenda. So as even we delve into this, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of debate, I want to urge my colleagues, when you want to contribute on a particular issue, prepare the alternative. And that's what the Kenyans want to hear. And I really want to plead with my colleagues here. Let's not turn the House into what I have seen today and what I've also seen yesterday afternoon. That is not the kind of image that we want to project. And finally, I've gone through this. Recently, there are 2 things, and this is captured also partly in this. His Excellency the President and the entire government was in Wajir on 1st June, Madaraka Day. You have heard the apology that came from none other than the President of the Republic of Kenya, and that was the first event of its kind in history. And therefore, and it's not going to be the last. The other day it happened in Kitui, it happened in Wajir, and I'm sure it will happen in other parts of the Republic of Kenya. But because of what has happened in the history that we have had as a region, taking into account the circumstances, any budget that is tailor-made for that particular and other activities of similar nature, for me as an individual, is something that I've been yearning for. So I want to believe this supplementary 2 is properly before the House, is well documented, and therefore I urge you to support. But as we approach this afternoon session, please, let's act differently. That is what will give us a better image, a better understanding, and that's what the Kenyans actually are looking forward to. I support this, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, let me put the question. We are going to have a stage in the process where we can make comments before third reading. So accordingly, honourable members, I now put the question. The House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The mover of the bill to move third reading.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the supplementary appropriation number 2, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026, be now read a third time. I also request the Honourable Vice Chairman of Budget and Appropriations Committee to second.
The Honourable Pukose.
Honourable Speaker, I second.
Honourable members, I propose the question that the supplementary appropriation bill number 2, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026, be now read a third time. The Honourable Charles Ngusia.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. And from the onset, I would like to say I am supporting this supplementary budget bill, of course, bill number 2, purposely because I have seen a lot of importance, because we are hosting Africa Cup of Nations next year. And as I sit in the committee of the sports committee, there are things that CAPs came and changed without us expecting to change the standards and quality of the stadium. And it is very important we allocate resources so that we can meet the regulations of the CAF and we hold a successful Africa Cup of Nations, which will sell the country across. Mr. Speaker, the other issues of security, they are very important. We saw what happened in Mwingi and other areas, and that is why most of the members who are opposing this bill, they don't have facts. We need to support this bill so that the money can be realigned to a very important and sensitive issues. With those few remarks, I support.
That is, let me come this Honourable. The Honourable Japhet Nyakundi will be followed by the Honourable Timothy Toroitich.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I also want to take this opportunity to support the Supplementary Appropriations Bill number 2, because one, I have heard the Member of Parliament for Suba, who has just left, talking about the stadiums. I want to tell him that these stadiums that he has seen being built are being built by this money from sports fund. And the money that is coming in from sports fund is appropriations in aid. What I want to urge this House, let us support this, because we have initially, we never used to have these stadiums, the like of Talanta, the likes of Kisii and Homa Bay, where he comes from. So this money that is in the supplementary budget is very, very important, because we have seen what this government is doing with money from sports. Initially, we never used to see this money for sports fund building stadiums all over the country. So I want to support this supplementary budget, because it is supporting a lot of things, more especially money for invigilators. You saw the other day teachers striking because they were not given their money last year, the ones who invigilated the exams. But this time round, I have seen money has been put in early enough so that as the students are going to do their exams this year, the teachers can be able to get the money so that they can be able
to support the invigilation. So generally, I want to support this supplementary budget in totality, and I want to thank the Budget and Appropriations Committee, and more especially the able chairman, Honorable Samuel Atandi. Thank you.
The Honorable Timothy Toretich in 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the letter, the spirit, and the intent of the Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 2 of 2026. Honorable Speaker, for only one reason. Honorable Speaker, I have seen that we've allocated 1.5 billion towards the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. Honorable Speaker, I come from a region that has been prevalent with insecurity matters, the Kerio Valley region. Honorable Speaker, I am happy that since this government took over, the government of William Ruto, we've seen that the security situation in Kerio Valley region has stabilized, and therefore I support the allocation of 1.5 billion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Lastly, the Honorable, that is Felix Odiwuor. 1 minute only.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also support the Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 2, mostly on the side of the sports fund and the money that has been allocated to it. I had even a conversation with the CEO of Sport Fund, and in my constituency, Undugu grounds will start being repaired and work will be done there. Apart from that, a few roads that have been installed in my constituency, that is Karen, the Langata Road from Karen Galleria all the way to Crossroad, Ole Shapara in South Sea, and Muhoho Road also have been allocated some money. I want to take this earliest opportunity to also thank the chairperson, Budget Committee, Honorable Atandi, for the good job that he's been able to do to allocate these monies in the supplementary. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Naomi Wako in 30 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I confirm that I support this appropriation bill, and also congratulate the committee simply because the State Department for Water and Sanitation receives money, State Department for Sports does the same, Youth Affairs and Creative Economy does the same, and State Department for Micro, Small, Medium support receives enough support. And again, Honorable Speaker, Presidency is responsible for organization and coordination of the government business, and much of this money goes there. I support this and I congratulate the committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members have confirmed that we have the requisite quorum in the House for purposes of making a decision. I therefore put the question, which is that the Supplementary Appropriation number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026, be now read a third time. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Let us be
a bill for an act of parliament to authorize the issue of certain sums of money out of the consolidated fund and the application towards the service of the year ending on the 30th June 2026, and to appropriate those sums for certain public services and purposes.
Thank you, honorable members, for a good morning session. Let us be upstanding. Honorable members, and the time being 1:01 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Thursday, the 18th day of June 2026 at 2:30 p.m.
Warm welcome to this live broadcast of the National Assembly on this day of Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. This is a broadcast that has been brought to you by the PBU in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, KBC. And today being a Wednesday, the morning session is set to kick off at 9:30 a.m. Members are expected to be in the
Honorable
chamber
members, Mr. Speaker.
for the deliberation of business before the House. At the moment, the Speaker is getting into the chamber. As you can see on the screen, the Speaker's possession is in the chamber. A very warm welcome, and allow me to hand you over to the chamber for the proceedings. Welcome. My name is Gilbert Ongeri.
Tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umeteua nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi ya jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu, tukusihi ututazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutiita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri hii yetu. Tukuomba ututeremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi hii yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amin. I can see we don't have a quorum. I direct that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes.
Dear viewers, the prayer has been said and the chair taken. And due to lack of quorum, the Speaker has directed the quorum bell to be rung for 10 minutes to allow the House to quorate as per the standing orders of the House before commencement of business of the House. You are watching us live from the National Assembly, Parliament buildings, courtesy of PBU and KBC. Just to take us through what is expected to be handled in the House this morning as per the order paper, there is expected to be a committee of the whole. that will deliberate the Agricultural and Livestock Extension Services Bill, Senate Bill number 12 of 2022, a bill that is sponsored by Honorable Dr. John Mutunga, MP. There is also expected to be a motion on outlawing discriminatory practices in learning institutions that impede access to basic education. This is a motion that has been sponsored by the Honorable Dr. Duncan Mathenge, MP. And in this motion, that aware Article 53(1)(b) of the Constitution guarantees every child the right to free and compulsory basic education, and that Article 21(2) obligates the state to take legislative and policy measures to ensure the progressive realization of socio-economic rights, which includes the right to education, under Article 43(1)(f). Further, aware that the Basic Education Act, Cap. 211, obligates the states and school administrators to ensure equitable access, retention, and completion in basic education, and prohibits administrative barriers that exclude learners, noting that the Children Act Cap 141 requires the best interests of the children to be the primary consideration in all actions concerning children, including in education, recognizing Kenya's international and regional obligations under Article 2 and 28 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Children, Article 13 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, Article 11 of the Africa Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, and the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO Convention Against Discrimination in Education. This House therefore resolves that, just taking you through the motion. Roman 1, all basic education institutions shall allow purchase of school uniforms from the open market as long as they generally conform to the school design and standards. Roman 2, all learners shall have uninterrupted access to school regardless of inability to pay for school feeding programs, remedial charges, development levies, or any other charges not expressly provided for under the Basic Education Act, or any other regulation approved by the Cabinet Secretary responsible for education. The Cabinet Secretary responsible for education, in consultation with the TSC, shall within 90 days develop a comprehensive regulatory and enforcement framework, including monitoring mechanisms and a compliance and redress system for parents and learners, as well as a nationwide public awareness program to ensure full compliance, and B, provide that any person or institution, action or policy that violates this resolution shall be subject to disciplinary action under the relevant statutes, including the Teachers Service Commission Act, the Basic Education Act, the Children Act, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission Act. This debate is expected to resume after interruption on Wednesday, April 29th, 2026, with a balance of 1 hour 50 minutes. Dear viewers, we are still waiting for the House to quorate as per the direction of the Speaker, having said the prayer and taken the chair. The standing orders of the National Assembly require that the House, Standing Order 34.1, that the House shall curate with a number of 50 members. If there is not a quorum present when the chair is taken at the time appointed for a meeting of the House, immediately after the saying of the prayer, the Speaker shall order the bell to be rung for 10 minutes, and if no quorum is present at the expiration of the 10 minutes, the Speaker may direct that the bell be rung a further 5 minutes, and if there is still no quorum present, the Speaker shall adjourn the House forthwith to the next sitting. So that's what we are currently waiting for. I'll continue to take you through what is expected to be handled in the House this morning, Wednesday morning. On the order paper, order number 10, the Penal Code Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 53 of 2024 by the Honorable Anthony Oluoch MP. This is a bill that is at the second reading stage. There will be also a consideration of motion, sustainable management and valorization of organic waste from avocado processing. A motion by the Honorable Mary Wamaua, MP. This is a motion that is seeking the House to resolve that the national government formulates an avocado waste management and valorization policy to provide for, Roman 1, sustainable avocado waste management and valorization, including research, training, and technology transfer to farmers and provision of processors on modern waste management and valorization practices with the aim of reducing pollution, improving public health, and creating jobs in the avocado-producing regions. Roman 2, there's a motion that seeks the House to resolve that the promotion of investment and innovation by providing subsidies, incentives, and technical support for waste-to-value initiatives such as biodigesters, biorefineries, and other circular economic solutions. And Roman 3, collaboration mechanisms of the national government and the county governments and private sector partners in sustainable
stop the bell.
Avocado waste management.
I think informed that we can transact business.
I will hand
Order
over
number 1,
to the House.
administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Proceed, Madam Naomi.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 10th June 2026, morning sitting. Number 1, legal notice number 91 of 2026, relating to the standards market civilians regulations 2026 and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry. Number 2, the agreement between the government of the Republic of Kenya and the government of the Republic of Angola on defense cooperation from the Ministry of Defense. And 3, reports of the Auditor General and financial statement for the years ended 30th June 2021, 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, 30th June 2024, and 30th June 2025, and the certificates therein in respect of the following schools. Number 1, Holy Cross Boys Secondary School, West Pokot. 2, Honorable D.M. Amin Girls Day Secondary School. Number 3, Kapenguria School. 4, Rabai Secondary School. And 5, St. Peter's Clever Secondary School, Kiduki. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, the chair budget.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the House. Today, Wednesday, 10th June 2026, report of the Mediation Committee on the Division of the Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that pursuant to the provisions of Article 113, Sub 2 of the Constitution and the Standing Order 153, this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 10th, 2026, and approves the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2, 2026. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
The honorable member for the North Hall. Is he in the House?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the deplorable state of road networks in Northern Constituency, Marsabit County. Honorable Speaker, the Shur Jaldesa Road and Turbi Forole Dukana Ileret Road are critical transport corridors serving thousands of residents, schools, health facilities, and livestock markets within Northern Constituency. Particularly, Shur Jaldesa and neighboring areas. However, the two roads have deteriorated significantly due to prolonged neglect, inadequate maintenance, and the absence of proper drainage infrastructure, rendering them impassable. The poor condition of these roads has had far-reaching consequences on the lives and livelihoods of the residents. Public service vehicles, ambulances, and other essential transport services are often unable to access affected areas during rainy season, effectively isolating entire communities. Economic activities have equally been disrupted, with traders unable to transport food supplies and essential commodities, thereby worsening food security and increasing the cost of living within the constituency. Honorable Speaker, despite the matter having been raised with the Kenya National Highway Authority, the response and intervention on the affected roads remain inadequate and unsatisfactory. The poor road infrastructure, coupled with the vastness of the northern constituency, which spans approximately 40,000 square kilometers, has resulted in continued exclusion of residents from connectivity to essential services and economic opportunities. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1, reasons for the delayed rehabilitation and maintenance of the critical roads within Northern Constituency, despite their importance to security and economy. 2, immediate measures being taken by the ministry through Kenya National Highway Authority to restore the Turbi Forole Dukana Ileret Road and the Shur Jaldesa Road to motorable condition. 3, long-term plans by Kenha to upgrade Shur Jaldesa Road and Turbi Forole Dukana Ileret Road to all-weather gravel or bituminous standard, specifying the budget allocation and implementation timelines. And finally, action being taken by KERA in collaboration with Kenya to address inequality in road infrastructure development by reviewing the model for road infrastructure funding in order to guarantee equity in infrastructure development and expand the road network to match the vastness of Northern Constituency. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Where is the chair of transport? Yes, proceed, committee member. Order, just, yes, Honorable Raso Dido, the third colonel.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the statement by my colleague from North Horr. The future of this country, and especially the future of the North, is on infrastructure. Unless you open up this region that is rich in mineral resources, rich in energy resources, rich in livestock.
The committee member for transport. Committee member for transport. You're not supposed to engage in another conversation with another member. Listen to what's being said. Please.
Mr. Speaker, even as far as security is concerned, today the government is doing a lot. Having opened Isiolo Moyale, they're working on opening Isiolo, Garbatula, Madogashe, Wajir, all the way to Mandera. These infrastructures are game changers. And in the fullness of time, Kenyans will realize, had we opened up the north, then a lot of things we are experiencing in the center here will never have happened. So for that reason, Honorable Speaker, while it appears to be far-flung, the road Marsabit, Jaldesa, Shur opens to Arbjan all the way to Wajir. If that route is open, it is a game changer. The road Forole to Irred opens the region to the Omo Delta. These are extraordinary areas. If the government really looks at where do we tap resources, where do we put more resources so that we get out of those lands, then infrastructure is the answer, and I support that statement. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member, please proceed. You can see the
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The importance of the question which has been sought by a member for North Horr. The future of this country depends on the North. The future of the country depends on areas that have got untapped, powerful mineral resources, what you call rare earth minerals and everything, and wind power. So give us an undertaking when that...
Honorable Speaker, I can't agree more. I'm one of the converted souls that believe that the northern frontier is the next development area of our region. Together with our oceans and our lakes, create all the infrastructure around them to be able to move our country forward. Honorable Speaker, I would want to commit to the member that we are going to look into that and probably supply the answer to that question in the next 2 weeks before we go on recess in July.
2 weeks is too long. 2 weeks is too long
Honorable
for people
Speaker,
to get those services.
No, Honorable Speaker, we are meeting the agency, the PS, next week. So I was imagining that after next week we can be able to supply.
But you just don't have to wait for that formal meeting. You can still...
Or we can invite the member actually to join us.
Precisely.
We can invite the member to join us for a preliminary answer while we debate and discuss the question with the ministry. Therefore, thereafter, we will supply the answer to the floor of the House in 2 weeks.
Member, are you comfortable with that? Yes, the honourable member trying to, from one of the neighbouring constituents, I know.
Yes, thank you, Honourable Speaker. It is really very important that the transport, and more so on matter security, the way Isiolo and other regions are problem because of security roads. It's the way Baringo South also has the same problem. And I fail to understand, when a region has been cassated as dangerous zone on matter security, and the concerned department does not consider roads, how shall we achieve this security when we don't have roads? Mokotane is a very serious area. We have raised the same all through, and I don't know if we are...
Order, honourable member. This matter concerns a road in North Horr. You have done well with the generalities, yes, all areas, but don't hijack it.
I don't hijack, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Honorable member, the specifics are, members put it very well. And that area is prone to across boundaries sometimes insecurities. So in the event that there's a serious insecurity and you don't have a roads infrastructure that essentially will enable our security forces and agents to intercept and act with speed, then how do we also guarantee the security as a member for Baringo adds that? Okay, proceed. On the basis of that, with the full understanding of that, the agency now give us an undertaking.
For clarity also, Honorable Speaker, the executive order that was released in, I think last year,
yes,
put the security roads as part of the function of the Ministry of Interior. So while the Ministry of Roads remains with the classification of the roads, the implementing agency is the Ministry of Interior. So probably we can be able also to look together the question about security within the road sector of those roads that have been gazetted as security roads, so that we can have a collaborative...
Because of the emergency nature, if I were you, and I'm a member of a ranking member of that committee, I would give an undertaking to the House that I will work with a member of Parliament concerned to the officers of the Minister for Security. While you are giving this undertaking also for that, a very elaborate statement or response to or other statements will be given, but at the same time, agency dictates that you also do an urgent action on that.
Much obliged.
Can you give that undertaking?
Yeah, much obliged.
So the two of you will walk to the Minister's office?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So in 2 weeks' time, you'll get the full statement, but in the meantime, the Honourable Member for North Horr, you work with this very dedicated member of the committee to Honourable Murkomen's office and see if you can get an immediate response on that. When I say immediate, I mean immediate action. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that was raised several times, both with the Minister of Interior and also with the Minister of Roads. So I think this time they should be serious and we really need action so that they can really give us an actionable points so that these roads can be worked on. Thank you very much.
The two of you walk to that place, and I expect the two of you, or rather, the committee member, also to come and report back to the House and say, this is what we've achieved.
Thank you.
As soon as possible, in addition to that, what do you call, elaborate statement that will be given in 2 weeks' time. MP for Honorable Abu Bakr Talib is also seeking a statement, a nominated MP. Where is he? He is not in the office. I direct that this statement be listed on the order paper at an appropriate day when the honorable member is in the House to prosecute his request for a statement. Next order.
Order number 8, Committee of the Whole House.
Yes. Honorable members, we are in the committee of the whole House. And the bill on the desk is the Agricultural and Livestock Extension Bill, Senate Bill number 12 of 2022. You can see the chairman is in the House. Chairman, are you ready? Thank you.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Chair, you have an amendment?
Yes, we have an amendment as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. I see the Honorable Beatrice Elachi. Honorable Beatrice Elachi, are you? Is it on this matter? No. There be no other interests. I put the question. Yes, Chairman. Member for Rindikiri.
I think I support this amendment, Madam Chair, because there is the need for the extension services be linked with research and the farmers. That has been missing in the previous bill, and therefore I think this amendment is coming handy, because now we need to focus on the farmer, and the farmer cannot be reached without extension services. And also we need to collect a lot of data and information that goes towards enhancing the farming community. So I support this amendment.
Thank you, Chair. You're aware that it has two aspects. There is paragraph B and there is E. So, honorable members, I now put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 3 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Chair.
I move that clause 4 be amended as per the recommendations of the Agriculture Committee, Madam Chair. The justification is that this will ensure that the national extension policy captures modern technology innovations to ensure that extension service is modernized. And B, to put an emphasis on the county government and not county executive committee member.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. I see interest from the Honorable Justice Kemei, member for Sigowet-Soin.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. I wish to support the amendment.
Is that mic working? I would like that mic to work. Or move to another mic that is working. Next one. You have the next one.
Madam Chair, I support the amendment by the Agriculture Committee, and we cannot divorce technology from extension services these days. And equally, Madam Speaker, the Chief Executive of the county is not the person responsible for all affairs in the county. It should be the governor. Therefore, I support that the amendment. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Dr. John Motunga, Chairman, Agriculture.
Chair, we discussed this issue at the committee level, and we realized that in the entire bill, there's a reference of CEC. We believe that in future, CEC might change to something different. So we believe committing the county government as they are is the best way to position the bill. Secondly, we needed to introduce technology into this bill. When it came from Senate, there was nothing on ICT, so we have introduced changes that bring about use of ICT in extension. Thank you.
Buri.
You know, Madam Chair, the world is moving towards quick transmission of information. There is a lot of advice that in the international arena that we all stay connected with the other sectors. Agriculture is not alone. There's the manufacturing, there's the trade, etc. So by bringing in the issue of technology, it comes handy. Number two, Madam Speaker, the issue of innovation. We are encouraging a lot of creativity and innovation in agricultural sector, which has delayed for a long time. And I think to move this country forward, we need really to encourage innovations, and the innovations cannot come without involving the entire chain of the administration, that's the county government. And therefore, Madam Speaker, it is very important that really we adopt this amendment as proposed by the committee.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 4 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Chair. Honorable Osero.
I propose that the House adopts the recommendations as per the order paper.
Would you like to tell us the purpose of the deletion, the justification for the deletion?
Justification.
In subclauses 1 and 3, just for the House to understand what we are doing.
Madam Chair, this is to put an emphasis on the county government and not the county executive committee member, so that the county government owns the entire process.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. The Honorable Kamoren, member for Baringo South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. In fact, I am concerned with this county government, the wisdom behind it. Because when you say county government, sometimes legally, it's not a responsibility of a specific executive officer concerned. It is open-ended. Legal, nobody will be responsible. But the way it was, as county executive committee member, somebody is responsible on giving directives and directions over this. So when you open it to county government, what's the wisdom behind it? We need to a clear explanation about this one. Otherwise, in counties, people are sometimes lazy in taking responsibilities, and the farmers will suffer.
Chairman, Agriculture.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, we all realize that county government configuration of their executives is not a preserve of ourselves, the national government, and there is no standard formula that is prescribed for them to give that configuration. You can be in charge of agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and environment. So tomorrow we might have somebody who is extremely different in this particular position. So it's only the county government who will know who will be in charge of extension, agricultural extension at the point in time. And that is why we are avoiding giving specific titles at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. I now propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 6 and 7.
I propose the question that clause 6 and 7 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 6 and 7 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Honorable Osero, stroke chair.
I propose that the House adopts clause 8 amendment as per the order paper. The reasons being, number one is to ensure that the service managers maintain an agriculture and livestock data center as a central digital data repository linked to relevant data sources. That is at one point. Number 2 is to introduce research and extension service as a function of that service itself. Number 3 is to incorporate the use of technology in extension and service. And D, to enrich the functions of the service by including important functions that have been omitted.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Please go to the intervention button. The Honorable Beatrice Elachi.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I also want to support. This will really help now in terms of research and help the farmers to understand climate change, to understand how to adapt with the diseases that we are having nowadays, and really help them in terms of also following up to know that innovations in agriculture gives you smart farming. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, looking at those amendments, it's quite a lot. So I would like the justifications to be, I can give you a minute.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, we really did serious amendment on this bill. The reason being that, number one, it completely avoided the use of ICT from Senate. So it was not up to date or in tandem with the going on now. The second issue, Chair, was that we introduced a central data repository and also an evolved level data diagnostic center, which will be coming up. So this central data repository is where we shall be having all the agricultural information from the sources. Could be from the research institutions, both national and international, could be from the universities, it could be from the experiences in the field of agricultural extension. This information will be collected and stored in an easily retrievable manner at the repository. So it became necessary because research data is scattered all over. There is need for this data to be collected and stored in an easily retrievable manner in one institution so that when county governments require this information, after they have done the diagnosis, they will be able to acquire this information from the repository other than trying to look around where the information could be gotten from.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 8 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill, Chair. There be no amendment. Chairman, I'd like to take that again. There is no amendment on clause 9, so I now put the question that clause 9 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. Honorable Osero.
I propose that the Committee of the Whole House adopts the amendment as per the order paper.
I would like to have justification, kindly.
The justification is that the chairperson is to be appointed by the president and not the cabinet secretary. Number 2 is to ensure that the vice chairperson is appointed by the Council of County Governors, the COG. 3 is to include the Director General of the Kenya Agricultural Livestock and Research Organization, CALO, as a member of that particular board. 4, to include representation from an umbrella body of farmers' organizations in that board. And 5 is to ensure representation of agriculture and livestock extension and advisory service providers.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Kamoren.
Thank you, Speaker. Still, over the one person to be appointed by the Council of County Governors, shall be the vice chairperson of the board. My concern, in which we need more explanation over this, is that don't you see there will be two center of powers when this person which is appointed by the Council of Governors will differ with the one appointed by the president? What will happen in such a scenario? Because this county government, this national government, don't you give an opportunity for the members of the board to maybe suggest the vice chair of their own, and let the county council of governors just appoint a representative of their own than to be specific to a position of a vice chair? What is the wisdom behind it?
Chairman, I'll give you the first opportunity.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. We know very well that agriculture is devolved. And being a devolved function, then it will be necessary for the county governments to feel or to be sure that they are fully represented, and effectively so. The second issue, Chair, is that this is a very important function in this country. The appointment of the chairperson was rested upon the CS, the cabinet secretary. But we know that it cuts across both national and county governments. It's a major function within the sector, and therefore presidential appointment is proposed by the committee. Now, when it comes to conflict of interest, this appointment actually is nomination. I think we might have to bring in a further amendment to say nomination of the representatives of the county governments by the COG, so that we can be able to align this properly, so that somebody doesn't feel like he is appointed and then he cannot be appointed by the CS. But the CS appoints all the others, apart from the chairperson. So I beg to bring further amendment to amend that, to correct that.
Honorable Kimei. Justice Kimei, member for Sigowet.
Thank you. Sorry, Madam Chair.
I think now you now just stick to the next mic.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The reasons given by the chairman of Agriculture Committee are quite valid. We do recognize that agriculture is a devolved function. We do recognize also that the national government has a role to play in agricultural development in this country. And appointment by the president of the chairperson is as per the appointment of all other state corporations. But in recognition of the fact that agriculture is a devolved function, we thought it wise, Madam Chair, that the council governors, being the responsible body for all matters county government, nominates a person to be appointed as a vice chairperson, so that at the end of the day, while we are recognizing the role of the national government, we cannot avoid the role of the Council of Governors or the county government as is part of the establishment of agriculture as a function. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I would like to put the question, to propose the question. Honorable Rindikiri Mugambi, member for Buri.
You know, the reason why I lose, Madam Chair, is because I come from a large-scale farming community. And I think this bill has really answered one of our players, that the farming community, particularly the large-scale farmers, are given an opportunity to be in a body like this. Secondly, Madam Chair, the professionals, particularly the ones forming the advisory services providers, it's something that has been missing. So the linkage between the farming community and the professionalism, I think, is coming handy through this bill, and therefore I support.
Honorable members, I now propose the question. I now put the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 10 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 11.
I propose the question that clause 11 be part of the bill, Chair. Honorable Osero.
I propose that the Committee of the Whole House adopts the recommendations as per the order paper. The justification.
I would like to get, the House would like to get a justification for the deletion.
The justification, Madam Chair, is to ensure correct reference to the members of the board and to include the qualifications of the members of the board.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Honorable members, I put the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 11 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 12 and 13.
I propose the question that clauses 12 and 13 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clauses 12 and 13 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as our contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that clause 14 be part of the bill. Honorable Osero. There is an amendment on 12. But you see, it shows that there is none. There is, honorable members, there is an amendment on 12. There is a small error on the desk, but we can take it again.
Clause 12.
I propose the question that clause 12 be part of the bill. Honorable Osero.
Propose that the recommendations as per clause 12 are adopted by the whole House as per the order paper. The justification, Madam Chair, is to introduce the procedure of removal of the board and the procedure of filling that particular vacancy.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. The Honorable Makalimulu, member for Kitui Central.
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. I just wanted, earlier I pressed this to tell you that there was an amendment. Now that it has been explained, I think it makes a lot of sense. Although this just general requirements to get somebody out of office or put them in office.
Thank you.
Thank
you very much. We take note that there is a discrepancy on the documents that we have, and I think that has already been corrected. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 12 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I propose the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that clause 14 be part of the bill. Honorable Osero, you have an amendment?
Yes, Madam. I propose that the amendments as per the order paper be adopted by this House. The justification is, number one, it will enhance the clarity on the functions of the board by ensuring that the functions reflect the mandate of that particular board. And number two, it will introduce the powers of the board in the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Those interested can hit the intervention button. I can start with the Honorable Makalimulu, member for Kitui Central.
I think it's important, Chairperson, for the mover to explain B, where it says you are deleting county executive committee and substituting thereof the old county government. I thought the earlier one was more specific. When you say county government, it's so general. Can you just explain the reasoning behind that?
That is noted. I think before you came, there was that matter which was raised, but For the benefit of the Honorable Makali Molu and those who have walked in, can you please give us justification for this?
Thank you very much, Chair. We did look at the logic of having specific reference to a county executive member in charge of agriculture at that time, in charge of extension that time, in the bill, and bearing in mind that county governments have their own configuration of the executive. Somebody can be in charge of livestock, agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and extension. And then somebody can be in charge of agriculture and the environment. So to avoid that confusion, we decided to bestow upon the responsibility to be bestowed upon the county government as well.
Thank you very much. There is a possibility of the extension officers being from different ministries or departments. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 14 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 15.
I propose the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 16.
I propose the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendments, as per the order paper adopted by this House, the justification is that this particular amendment will provide a lot of clarity on the powers of the board to delegate. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. I do not see anyone on the intervention button, so I now put the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 16 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 17 and 18.
I propose the question that clauses 17 and 18 be part of the bill. No amendment, so I put the question that clauses 17 and 18 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 19.
I propose the question that clause 19 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
Madam, I propose that the amendments, as per the order paper adopted by the whole House, the justification being, one, is to provide clarity on the functions of the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. Thank you.
I propose the question that clause 19 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 19 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 20.
I propose the question that clause 20 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendments be adopted by the Committee of the Whole House as per the order paper. The justification being that this would provide clarity on the grounds for removal of the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer.
I propose the question that clause 20 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. I now put the question that clause 20 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 20 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, before we proceed, I would like to recognize visitors seated in the speakers gallery this morning. We have students from Mount Kinangop Girls Secondary School from Kinangop constituency, Nyandarua County. Thank you. We have students from St. Peter Clavers Boys Secondary School from Makueni, constituency, Makueni County. And we have students from Juja Preparatory and Senior School from Juja constituency, Kiambu County. And also, honorable members seated in the public gallery this morning, we have students from Tawa Mixed Secondary School from Boni constituency in Makueni County. I would like to give a chance to the Honorable Makali Mulu to welcome students from all these schools.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to all the students and the teachers who are accompanying them to the House of Parliament. This is where laws for the country are actually legislated, Honorable Speaker, and I want to tell them that they can actually be members of Parliament in the future if they so wish. It's a matter of working hard and ensuring that you focus on your studies, and those who want to be politicians, you pursue that ambition. Otherwise, karibu sana. Asante, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Dr. Makali Mulu. Honorable members, let us proceed.
Clauses 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that clauses 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I now put the question that clauses 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 26.
I propose the question that clause 26 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero, you have an amendment?
Thank you, Chair. I propose that the amendment be adopted by the Committee of the Whole House. The justification being it will put an emphasis on the county government and not the county executive committee member, since the bill is a national legislation.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I now propose the question that clause 26 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. The Honorable Mishimboko, Commissioner, do you have interest in this?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I want to support this amendment because, Madam Chair, we need to put the responsibility in case of anything to the county government, because sometimes that executive member will not be around, or rather will be, maybe sometimes they do redesignation in terms of their employees, and it is being transferred to another department, and yet you want to take responsibility on that person. So the county government need to be emphasized to be the institution which will take responsibility. I support.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. The Honorable Patrick Ntwiga, member for Chuka Igamba Ngombe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I support the amendment, but still with some doubts, reservations on it. Because, Madam Speaker, what is happening at county government, because of no specific, the CEC is not a person, it's the office. So when we start saying that somebody will be moved to another department, we are not talking about the person. It's the office of the CEC Agriculture or the office of the CEC Land or Transport, the office. Because what is happening, those who have had experience with the county government, Madam Chair, nothing is moving. Even approving something small, the CEC cannot do it, the chief officer cannot do it. They must wait until the governor is available to approve. So all these offices we have in county government are just shadow offices. They do nothing. County government are being led by one individual called a governor, because everything we don't want to say, CEC will do. We don't want to say, chief officer will do. So finally, they rely on one person to approve even small things that need to be approved. So I trust on the wisdom of the committee and the whole house, but with the reservation. And finally, I want to congratulate the students who are here, Madam Chair, because they have not fallen in the trap of following peer pressure, are destroying their schools, are going home when they are supposed to be in school. So, Madam Chair, I wish to sincerely congratulate the students who are in this house today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. The chair has given the justification on this, but I do not want to do it. I know those who were earlier in the house have already gotten the importance of this, but I'll give you half a minute, just for the benefit of members who have walked in, because I think you have given the justification for this earlier.
Honourable Chair, I'll say something in relation to what the honourable member has said, because he has brought a different dimension. We are not saying that the office will change or the officer will change. We are actually saying that the configuration is left to the county government. somebody in charge of extension could be taking care of extension, environment, and fisheries. So if you say CEC in charge of agriculture, it will be out of order to manage these activities. So we leave the county government to configure and position this particular extension service in the right docket.
Absolutely. And I think that is the justification you had given earlier. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 26 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. And now will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I put the question that clause 26 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 27.
I propose the question that clause 27 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
I propose that the recommendations as per the order paper be adopted by this House. The justification is just the same one. This is to put an emphasis on the county government and not the county executive member, since the bill is of national legislation. And B is to make reference to the correct devolved units under the county government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sero. Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 27 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 27 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 28 and 29.
I propose the question that clauses 28 and 29 be part of the bill. There is no amendment, so I put the question that clauses 28 and 29 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 30.
I propose the question that clause 30 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
I propose that the amendments as per the order paper be adopted by the House, the justification being that this will put emphasis on the county government and not the CEC member, since the bill is of national legislation. Number 2 is to include the geographical space and scope that the extension service can competently cover in the register of extension service providers.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now propose the question that clause 30 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 30 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 31.
I propose the question that clause 31 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
Madam Chair, I propose that the recommendations as per the order paper be adopted by this House. The justification being it will also put emphasis on the county government and not the county executive member, since the bill is of national legislation. And this will, and this will include the position of functional technology and data centers as part of the information to be publicized in the county website. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sero. Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Honorable Beatrice Elachi.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, when you look at this, I think this is the most important pillar in the bill now, because we've been working on and who are coordinating. But now when you come to the National Data Service Center, the most important thing is now how do we ensure that everything within the country, and that is why we support that this bill now becomes more national, because you have one data center, but that will take care of the whole country, where we shall do research, understand our soils, understand, and we are able even to question, especially in the different areas where we are saying we want the northern frontier to come up. This data center now will assist them to know what can they do in agriculture that is within livestock, but also another thing, how do you take care now of the different methods that we have within our different countries and the challenges we are facing, as I said, with climate change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Member for Dagoretti North. Yes, the Honorable Rindikiri Mugambi, Member for Vori.
Yeah, Madam Chair, it's just a concern after looked at what is comprising the research unit. I'm wondering where KPIs has been left out, because we are dealing with a very serious issue on pests, for example, and it should be part of the activities that the center, I think, the data that they need to be collecting. I am seeking clarification from the chair.
Honorable Chairman, would you like to make that clarification?
Yes, Chair, I think the honorable member is putting the cart before the horse. I think we wait for the next clause, because it's very explicitly defined where those centers institutions.
Will they be defined in the regulations?
Yes, it is. The listing is in the next.
Oh, in the next,
clause.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. The Honorable Kamuren, Member for Baringo South, would you like to comment on this?
Yeah, I want to, Honorable, Chair, I want to support this amendment for purposes of the technology and the new changes across the world, and more so with the effects of climate change, and in line with what is happening in other ministries, whereby we are even members of parliament are supporting through NGCDF the app for the young generation to be exposed and also to apply for jobs and other services, including the Huduma Center. So this one will be in line that now the Ministry of Agriculture through the counties also, they will be providing the data that is needed for exchange, and so that we can mitigate on this climate change. I support.
Thank you very much. Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu, Member for Kitui Central.
Actually, Honorable Chair, the issue I wanted to raise is members are already discussing 31A instead of 31. So if you could put the question on that one, we pass it and then we move to the new clause, because that's what they're discussing.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 31 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 32.
I propose the question that clause 32 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 32 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 33.
I propose the question that clause 33 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero. 33.
You come back to it, okay. Madam Chair, I propose that
Honorable Chair, the new clauses will come later.
Thank you. 33. Madam Chair, I propose that the recommendations as per the order paper be adopted by the House. The justification is that this will replace the National Assembly and Senate with Parliament, since both houses are known as Parliament.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 33 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. I now put the question that clause 33 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 33 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 34.
I propose the question that clause 34 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 34 be part of the bill. Will as many as other opinions say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 35.
I propose the question that clause 35 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
Recommendations as per the order paper be adopted by this House, being the justification being that this will ensure that the Cabinet Secretary in charge cannot delay the submission of annual report and publications for more than 6 months. Thank you.
I propose the question that clause 35 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. The Honorable Mishimboko, Commissioner.
I support this amendment, Madam Chair, because we need to put time frame. If you don't put time frame, then we'll have a lot of delays. I support.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mishi. The Honorable Patrick Ntwega, member for Chuka Igamba Ng'ombe.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I stand to support the amendment because we normally make laws, but when we don't put timelines on when things should be done, we end up with the laws that are just on shelves. I was just wondering if we could have added something. What if the Cabinet Secretary doesn't do so? What happens in 6 months?
Okay. Chairman, would you like to make a comment on that?
Yeah, thank you very much for that observation, Chair. We have included penalties for non-compliance.
Okay, in another clause. Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 35 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. Will as many as other opinions say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 35 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 36.
I propose the question that clause 36 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 36 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 37.
I propose the question that clause 37 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero, you have an amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I propose that the amendment as per the order paper be adopted by the House. Reason being, this will ensure that the bill does not limit the counties on the specific legislations to legislate on. Thank you.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. The Honorable Justice Kemei, member for Sigowet, Soin.
Madam Chair, I want to support the amendment by Honorable Osero. Madam Chair, much as we are doing national legislation, there might be issues specific to each county in this country, and we do not want to limit the county governments from doing further legislation to address specific issues in each and every in each particular county. Thank you, Madam Chair. I support.
Thank you very much, Justice. The Honorable Dr. Makalimulu.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chairperson, just as much as I support this amendment, I think we need to rethink the objective. The objective is to allow the county governments to be able to have their own domesticated law. So in a situation where you say they cannot, it has to be in line with the Act, and then you go to an extent of even saying regulations, because regulations are the operational instruments for the Act. How I wish you stopped at the Act and you left the regulations, because then you allow them a bit of room. But when you are saying they cannot go against the regulations, the national regulations, that becomes very restrictive, and you might not achieve your objective. So I wish you could actually move a further amendment and delete the regulations. Asante, Honorable Chairman.
Before I go to the other members who have interest in this, I would like to give the chair a minute.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I would like to read this statement for purposes of clarity and especially to satisfy my very good friend. A county government may make county-specific legislations on extension services as long as they are not in conflict with this Act or any regulations made under this Act. We are recognizing this Act, and we are also recognizing the regulations that will implement this Act. So anything arising from that, the county governments, based on their specificities and peculiarities, can make their own legislations. Now we are saying after this Act, regulations will be made. Those regulations may have specifications that the county government may need to put into context when they are making their own legislations in terms of alignment.
Thank you. The Honorable Bichi Selachi, member for Dagoretti North.
Chair, I know one of the things that our constitution says is that you will always have to respect the main act. And I think that is why Chair is telling us that, yes, the county government may make specific legislations, but you cannot have conflict with the main act. And that's the law. Because the moment you also open, you will find each county with a different legislation and doing very different things. And that's the challenge we face even in the country today, Chair. That some of the acts we do in our counties, we forget that we are a unitary state. We think our counties are federal. No, we must always respect the mother act. And this is why this act has to remain that way.
Thank you. The Honorable, I'll give you a chance after the Honorable Patrick Ntwiga, member for Chuka Igamba Ngombe.
Thank you, Chair. You know, the Honorable Makari is a very focused man. He's already looking at himself as a governor already and addressing things that will bring problems to him. He's solving problems that he is anticipating. But also looking at the amendment, Chair, I think I support Honorable Makari because we have not made the regulations so far. We have not seen the regulations. So what are we saying that they abide to? Are we making a law concerning regulations that we have not made? We are already quoting regulations that we have not made. I wish the amendment could go as far as the act, but not the regulations.
What is out of order, Honorable Justice?
Madam Chair.
But tell me, first of all, what is out of order?
Yeah, Madam Chair, the Honorable Patrick did mention that the Honorable Patrick Makali, his namesake, is looking at himself as the governor. The Honorable Patrick Makali is a member of parliament and is doing his due role as a member of parliament.
He's called Dr. Makali.
Yeah, Dr. Makali. Thank you. That was so. I want the Honorable Patrick to withdraw the statement, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Actually, initially I thought he's casting aspersions on the Honorable Makali, but I also thought that it's positive in a way. So I didn't want him to withdraw. But there is something you are suggesting, that the Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu is making laws in anticipation that he's going to be the governor for Kitui. I think I would like to give him a chance. Honorable Makali Mulu, is that the situation you are putting this house to?
You know, Honorable Chairperson, what I'm saying, and I don't mind the compliment. By the way, I will be the governor. That is not a big deal. But the issue, Honorable Chair, is this. You know, when you make you make law, you have an act of parliament. Now, to make the act of parliament be operational, you do the regulations. So I'm saying, now when you talk about county governments being tied, not even to make any law in accordance with the regulations, you are going to a lower level which will tie their hands. That's why we are saying Mutunga would have stopped at the act, so that once you have an act of parliament, then that act of parliament will guide them when it comes to doing their own local law, which will now also enable them to do their own regulations. But once you have the regulation at this national level, you've already tied their hands. And that has nothing to do with whether I will be governor or not. It has something to do with the drafting of the law, which I think we are not getting it right.
Actually, the Honorable B.T. Selachi had put it very well. But now that I'm seated here and I do not have any power to say a word on this, I give a chance to the chair.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I think it is very clear to all of us that once this law is assented to implement the law, we will need regulations. And the regulations will be a detailed interpretation of this law in form of actions to be taken. County government can rely on this law and then they miss the detail in the interpretation of the implementation of the law. That's why we are capturing even the regulations so that they are properly guided.
Honorable members, before I now approach the question, I would like to recognize our visitors seated in the public gallery this morning. We have students from Ginda Mixed Secondary School from Maragua constituency in Moranga County. We also have students this morning from Siwot Secondary School, Narok South constituency in Narok County. And I would like to give a chance to the Honorable Tutu to welcome students from the two schools and other students in our
thank you,
galleries.
Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to welcome the students to the premises of Parliament. Siwot Secondary School is a school from my constituency, Amalo sub-county, and is a school which has really made us very proud. They have been performing very well in their exams. It's one of our biggest schools in the sub-county. And I would like to encourage them to keep on upholding the high standard of discipline and hard work. And I want to promise them that there is a good future for them. They are promising potential members of Parliament, doctors, and other prominent Kenya in future. So they should feel welcome and all school. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, the Honorable Kibagendi.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me this opportunity to also welcome these wonderful students to this august house. It is a demonstration that these are students from schools that are indeed disciplined, because as you are aware, a majority of our schools have gone on rampage and they are home. Those that are here is a demonstration that they are taking their studies seriously. We truly appreciate them, and we encourage them to continue studying and working hard so that they can also become leaders in this country. And for that matter, I would like to encourage students from across the country and even parents that we need to ensure that our children are disciplined so that as we go forward into the third term, we do not have the kind of challenges we've had this particular season, so that students can sit for their exams in a peaceful environment. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kibagendi. Honorable members, I now put the question. Oh, Chair. Okay. On students.
Oh, Chair, let me say something extra, not really on students, but concerning the students and all of us. Chair, in this country, we gave ourselves a constitution, 2010. We gave ourselves excess freedom for anybody to say anything, anytime concerning anyone. Chair, we lost respect for status, we lost respect for age, we lost respect for anything. And that is why our children are also losing respect for being in school. Kids are deciding not to go to school, and they say we are not going, and we are going home, and they go home. Chair, I can declare interest here. I'm an investor in education as a family business. Last night we never slept because we didn't want to give the students a chance to burn the school. They were agitating. They had to be released this morning. We cannot have that. And Chair, when somebody of our age and status stands and calls anybody any name, we have lost everything. We need to restore our respect for status, our respect for age, our respect for parentage. Kids tell their parents anything today, which is really wrong. So these students who are here, I think it is good for us to start spreading the good message. Stick in school, do your work as a student, finish up, go out there if you want to be a politician, become anything, because that is the stage at which you are, and that is what you should be taking up then. I come from a community which has a saying that you should not pull anything that is not at your stage. Don't pull it down, find it there. Chair, we need to look at ourselves as a country. We are losing almost everything. By the way, we are becoming careless with our intonations, with our words, with our comments, with our accusations, with our attacks, with everything. Even in this house, people come here not to debate objectively. They come here to attack others, to attack the government just for the sake of it. So we need to revisit our lost orientation as a people, as a nation, and at our different ages and stages. Thank you, Chair.
The Honorable Mwago, you would like to make a comment? Honorable Amos Mwago, member for Starehe constituency.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me this opportunity as a local area member of Parliament to welcome these students to Starehe constituency and Parliament at large. And I would like to join my friend in telling them that they can be anything they want to be in the world, and they can achieve whatever levels of success they might admire. I join my friend in beseeching them to desist from this temptation of the current address in schools. And I like to join my friend in congratulating them that they are still in school. That's a good thing. There's a wave of unrest in the whole country, and this thing is happening everywhere, in every corner of this country. And I think it is time for us as leaders also to try analyze this issue and understand where the problem is coming from, because it's not good to always tell them to be disciplined, whereas we are not even looking at the issue, the core issue, the core cause of all this unrest. I find it paradoxical that we are trying to tell these people to be disciplined and we are not addressing their issues. I found it very astonishing for a government officer to say that they are not going to condone indiscipline in schools, whereas we've not listened to what these students have to say, their issues. So basically, I think us as leaders, we should try and give an ear to these students so that we understand, because another life lost is just too many lives lost. We cannot take chances. I also tend to disagree with the education committee that decided that they cannot send students home for earlier closure. But I think that would be the most adequate step as of now, because you cannot risk losing other students to fires. So basically, I think I put this challenge to us as leaders. We really need to address this issue once and for all. We cannot afford to be losing students in schools. We really need to listen to them and know their problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Honorable members, I see a lot of people want to make comments on this, and you know that if you want to discuss this, it can only be an adjournment motion where you can say everything that you want to say. So for that reason, I would like us to go back to the committee of the whole, our house. So I am now going to put the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 37 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 38.
I propose the question that clause 38 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I pose the question that clause 38 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 39.
I propose the question that clause 39 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I propose that the recommendations as per the order paper be adopted by this House. The justification being, this will ensure that the Cabinet Secretary makes guidelines on remuneration and does not assume, I think there was a typo error there, assume the role of the Salaries and the Remuneration Committee. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that clause 39 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. The Honorable Naomi Wako, member for Marsabit and Whip. The Honorable Beatrice Elachi, is it on this or it was on the earlier one? So, honorable members. Okay, the Honorable Kamuren.
Thank you, Chair. In this, I support this first of all, but I want to call that the concerned authority to come up with these guidelines on surfaces, on fees for these extension service officers, so that they cannot exploit the farmers and the services they are rendering. It is really very important. We have seen before, and mostly farmers have a lot of challenges, and because there is no formula across the counties, it is really very necessary that this concern should be implemented as soon as possible. I support.
The Honorable Susan Kiamba, member for Makueni. Not on this one. Do I assume that Beatrice Elachi, you have an intervention? Not on this. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 39 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 39 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 3A.
So I give a chance to the chair or the mover to move the second reading of this new clause. That is new clause 3A.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the performance of the functions and exercise.
Chair, Honorable, start by now moving this clause. I now move the clause 3A be read a second time.
I now move that the clause 3A be read a second time.
Honorable members, I propose the question that new clause 3A be now read a second time. I do not see any interest in this, so I now put the question that new clause 3A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 3A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? The reason I'm moving, honorable members, is that I do not see any interest. So I'll proceed. I now put the question that new clause 3A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 12A.
Mover, please go ahead and move the second reading of new clause 12A.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 12A be read a second time.
New clause
12A be read a second time.
Thank you. Honorable members, I propose the question that new clause 12A be now read a second time. Honorable members, I do not see any interest in this, so I go ahead and put the question that new clause 12A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? As many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I propose the question that new clause 12A be part of the bill. I do not see an interest, so I now put the question that new clause 12A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? As many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 12B.
Madam Chair, I now propose that the new clause 12B be read a second time.
Honorable members, I propose the question that new clause 12B be now read a second time. I do not see any interest in this, so I now put the question that new clause 12B be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? As many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 12B be part of the bill. The Honorable Patrick, member for Chuka Igambangombe.
Chair, mine was just a small observation on 12A and the reasons for removal.
No, we already we are past 12A.
I'm saying because 12B is concerning the appointment, the replacement after you are removed in section 12A. So it is still it still pertains on the same. It's very important when we see that somebody will be removed for convening provisions of the Constitution, because, Madam Chair, we have government appointees in this country who have no regard for the Constitution at all. They just learn as are more counted there. So this provision is very important, that if you contravene the Constitution, you are thrown out. I support.
Thank you. Justice Keme.
In addition, Chair, it's not just the Constitution. We know the Constitution is the overall guiding document for the nation. But in addition to that, if a person contravenes the laws of the land, then that person also should be removed from office. I submit, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that clause 12B be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 12B be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 14A.
I propose the question that new clause 14A be. I would like to call upon the mover first to move the second reading of new clause 14A.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 14A be read a second time.
Chair, would you like to inform the House what that clause is about?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, the bill lacked the powers of the board completely. So we are to bring in the powers of the board. That is why 14A is proposed for adoption at this particular stage. We came up with the entire continuum of the powers of the board, which was completely missing from the bill itself.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that new clause 14A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that new clause 14A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that new clause 14A be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 14A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New part 4A.
I call upon the mover to move the second reading of new part 4A. Mover?
Madam Chair, I move that the new part 4A be read a second time.
Honorable members, I now put the question that new part 4A be now read a second time. Honorable members, I propose the question that new part 4A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that new clause 4A, new part 4A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new part 4A be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 4A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31A.
I call upon the mover to move the second reading of new clause 31A.
Madam Chair, I now propose that new clause 31A be read a second time.
Would you like to say something about it? Chair?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, this particular clause basically establishes the National Agriculture and Livestock Extension Service Data Center. This data center is the one that will source all the data from the various generating sources, the universities, the research institutions, the extension service providers, professionals, the farmers' organizations, international agriculture and research organizations, and any other body, including KEFIS. So anybody is included in this particular continuum. And this center Yeah, that is basically establishing the center itself, and then we will move on.
Thank
to
you.
The next.
Honorable members, I move that new clause 31A be now read a second time. I now put the question that new clause 31A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 31A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 31A be part of the bill. The Honorable Rindikiri Mugambi, member for Vuri.
Madam Speaker, you know, Dr. was very clear because
Are we pronouncing the constituency properly? Not Buri, but Vuri.
Buri.
Vuri.
Yes. Madam Speaker, like I said, I come from an agricultural constituency and large-scale farming in Meru, and that's why I was very keen on the matters relating to pests. I know there's a bill that is coming on that, but I was feeling that it needs to be part of the kind of data that we're also going to correct. But I think one of the things that has been missing in this country is data that enables determination of policies and decisions allowed the agricultural sector. This is coming handy because now moving forward, we have a data depository center where we can go and do learn on the trends and the other activities related to agriculture and livestock. So I support this amendment fully.
Thank you. The Honorable Dorothy Kiara, nominated member.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I too support a data collection center. It's equally very, very key because with this particular institute, the data collection center, it will enable for proper planning even for future. So I do support.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Brighton Yegon, member for Konoin.
I also want to support establishment of a national agricultural extension service data center because this is a center where all the relevant services will be stationed and all the data related to livestock and extension service will be placed. I support.
Thank you very much, member for Konoin. Honorable members, I now propose the question that new clause 31A be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 31A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31B.
Mover, move the second reading for clause 31C.
Madam Chair, I now move that clause.
I want to take that again.
31B.
Move the second reading for clause 31B.
Madam Chair, and I propose that clause 31B on the functions of the center be read a second time.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that new clause 31B be now read a second time. I now put the question that new clause 31B be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Honorable members, are we together? I put the question again. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? As many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 31B be part of the bill. There be no interest. I put the question that new clause 31B be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31C.
Mover, move the second reading for new clause 31C.
Madam Chair, and I propose that clause 31C that deals with the administration of the data center be read a second time.
A comment on that for the benefit of members, being a new clause? Could be from the chairman.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, the data center will need structure and administration in terms of the staffing within to manage the data itself, the sourcing mechanism, the storage mechanism to ensure that there is easy storage, easy retrieval, because that is the purpose of extension information. It should be easily retrieved and very specifically packaged in terms of the domains that they focus.
I propose the question that new clause that 1C be now read a second time. Honorable members, I now put the question that new clause that 1C be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that new clause that 1C be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause that 1C be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31D.
Mover move second reading of new clause 31D.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will now propose that new clause 31D that deals with the registration of users of that center be read a second time.
Honorable members, I now put the question that new clause 31D be read a second time. I now put the question that new clause 31D be now read a second time. Honorable members, I do not see any interest in this, so I now put the question that new clause 31D be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 31D be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 31D be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, before we proceed, I would like to recognize our guests. Seated in the speakers gallery this morning, we have students from AIC Morop Girls High School from Rongai constituency, Nakuru County. Thank you. We also have students from Ngombit Primary / Junior School from Laikipia East constituency in Laikipia County. And honorable members, I would like to give a chance to the member for Vori, the Honorable Rindikiri, to welcome students from the
Thank you. The reason why I lost is because I border Laikipia East and Gobit is what we call an extension of our community in Laikipia. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome all the students from the two institutions and tell them this is the House of Parliament where most likely one of you will be in the future. We ask you to stand as much as possible to know what's going on here. And when you go back, you tell your colleagues or your fellow students what you have seen. I will only request you have made the right decision to be here in Parliament, not at home, because some of your colleagues are at home right now because of the student unrest. I will plead with you, please, if you discipline yourself today, your future is bright tomorrow. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Rindikiri Mugambi.
New part 4B.
Move the second reading for new part 4B.
34B. Thank you, Madam Chair. I now move that new clause 34B be part of the.
I would like you to take that again so that you put the part well. It is new part 4B.
Yes. Madam Chair, I move that part 4B on the Agriculture and Livestock Diagnostic Center be read a second time.
Thank you. Honorable members, I propose the question that new part 4B be now read a second time. I do not see any interest, so I now put the question that new part 4B be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that new part 4B be part of the bill. I now put the question that new part 4B be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31E.
Mover, move the second reading for new clause 31E.
Madam Chair, I now move that clause number 31E, dealing with the establishment of the Agricultural Diagnostic Center, be read a second time.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that new clause 31E be now read a second time. Chairman?
Thank you very much, Chair. The entire agricultural extension delivery is based on diagnosis of the problem, relay of the problem sourcing of the answers, and the relay of the answers to the caller. So the diagnostic center positioned at the county level and could also be developed based on the intensity of activities of agriculture in a county, is the one that will be diagnosing, or rather interpreting, what problems farmers present. The structure is such that if farmers find crops drying up, they can take a photograph, send it to the diagnostic center. The diagnostic center will know this is what is affecting this crop. Then they will source for the solution from the data center, which is the National Data Center.
Thank you. The honorable member for Igamba Ngombe, Chuka Igamba Ngombe.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I stand to support this new clause and with a lot of emphasis, because agriculture is largely a devolved function. And when we have a national data center and then we don't provide a mechanism of how the national data center will be fed from the county government, then we'll be having an ineffective law. So this is a very good clause, Madam Chair, because county governments have the greatest responsibility on matters of agriculture. They understand the specificity of various counties and what they do in agriculture, and so they are best placed to generate data that comes to the national data center. So this is a very good clause, Madam Chair, and I just wish that county governments will go on and establish these diagnostic centers. Thank you, and I support.
Thank you, honorable members. I put the question that new clause 31E be now read a second time. Will as many as other opinions say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 31E be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 31E be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31F.
Mover, move the second reading for clause 31F. New clause 31F.
Madam Chair, I now move that clause 31F.
New clause
31F that deals with the functions of the diagnostic center at the county be read a second time.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that new clause 31F be now read a second time. The Honorable Ndikiri Mugambi, member for Buri.
I think for the first time, and I really want to commend this committee, because where this bill originated, they seem to have left a very important part. And I applaud the committee for really taking keen interest. Madam Speaker, one of the things that I've noticed here is the linkage between the national, the county, and also the international research organizations, because we are now global village. So the linking ourselves from the international organization, it's not good for us. So by pulling this linkage, I think we are on the right trajectory in as far as the services that are being brought here are concerned. I thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I put the question that new clause 31F be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 31F be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 31F be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31G.
Now move the second reading for new clause 31G.
Madam Chair, I now propose the new clause 31G that deals with where the diagnostic center shall be domiciled and administered from be read a second time.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that new clause 31G be now read a second time. I do not see any interest, so I put the question that new clause 31G be now read a second time. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 31G be part of the bill. There be no interest, I go ahead to put the question, which is that the new clause 31G be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Schedule.
I propose the question that the schedule be the schedule of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that the schedule be the schedule of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. You can approach the chair. Chairman, please approach the table. I finished.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I now put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Chairman, approach the table, please. Nothing to recommend. No, he will move subject to. So how do I do it when he speaks? Chairman, I understand you have a recommittal of clause 10, or it is the mover, the Honorable Osero.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do a report to the House, its consideration of the agriculture and livestock.
Order, Honorable Osero. Chair, did you have anything on clause 10?
Yes.
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 I
Yes.
have the
So if you have a recommittal or in clause 10, can we deal with that first before we go to the Honorable Osero?
Transform your guest Wi-Fi into a powerful marketing engine with Linkify. Unlock your business potential with insightful data gathering, powerful analytics, and bespoke marketing campaigns. Linkify, where passion meets innovation.
Tracking your organization's expenses can be difficult and time-consuming. From overdue vendor invoices to employees waiting for payments, it can get a little frustrating to keep track of everything. Which is why you need OpenFloat, the #1 petty cash management solution to simplify your payouts and track your expenses. OpenFloat lets you pay your salaries to all your employees at once, send them airtime, and settle payments to mobile money and bank destinations simultaneously. With OpenFloat, you'll enjoy real-time settlement for all your payouts, no matter the time or day. Comprehensive and informative reporting, world-class security to control access and usage, and round-the-clock support to make sure your business runs seamlessly. With all these benefits, what are you waiting for? Visit openfloat.africa to get started.
Are you out of data? Muthui Solutions Hub brings you amazing data deals, tunukiwa, minutes and SMS deals purchased with or without Okoa Jahazi. To get these deals, pay exact amount to till number 6964518. For more inquiries, reach our 24/7 support at 0719 289 675.